Hi everyone, so today I'll show you how you can do a tear pattern scarf. I decided to name it tear scarf because the effect kind of reminded me of little tears in a scarf, obviously. So yeah, it's a pretty easy pattern to do. It's also very good for beginners if you're looking for something a bit different but not too difficult. And you'll see in a moment what I mean. So it's definitely something that you can do even if you don't have a lot of experience, and I think the end result is really great, so it really pays off to give it a try. So I'm using Woolly Hugs Year Socks. This is 400 meters and 100 grams per spool, so depending on your desired size you might need 2 spools, or if you're looking for an extra big one you can do 3 as well. Another option, what you could do, is use pretty much any bobble from Woolly Hugs since it's 800 meters and 200 grams in each spool, so that's kind of the same as 2 spools of the Year Socks. It's important that you work with a bigger needle than what the wool specifies, so for that I will be using my 5mm needle. And you see here my set, so I'm always organized with my tools, and I recommend to everyone to do the same. It saves a lot of time and a lot of energy. So anyway, let's assemble and then we can get started. We need our line as well this time. So I'll show you the beginning with Year Socks March. Here I have the example that I showed you in Year Socks April, and the whole idea is that Year Socks have 12 editions or different color versions for each month of the year. So yeah, we can get started with 5 stitches. Three, 4, 5. Now let's do the edge stitch and knit stitch like this. And the next one also knitwise. And now yarn over the needle 1 knit stitch. Yarn over again and knit stitch. The last one also in knit stitch, and that was the first row. So I will be marking rows this time in case you want to rewind. You don't have to watch the entire project. You can always know where we are at and which section you need to see again. Again, start with a knit stitch. Next stitch and the yarn over again knitwise, and others as well go in knit stitch. Obviously, since this is the back row, we are just doing all stitches in a knit stitch. Okay, so now let's start. Thread goes behind the needle. We start with knit stitch. Another knit stitch, yarn over, and the other stitches also knitwise. This time we have 3 in between. Then we do again yarn over, and before the last 2 stitches we will always do yarn over the needle, and the last 2 again knitwise. Row 4 is the back row. So just do every stitch in knit stitch, so nothing special. As always with back rows, just do the stitches as they come. Row 5, thread behind the needle, 2 knit stitches, and also throughout the whole scarf we do, after the 2 stitches, yarn over the needle and just do knit stitches in between. Until you reach the last 2 stitches. There you also do yarn over the needle. Now here, every even row is the back row, so just do the stitches as they come. The edge stitches may be a bit tricky, but if you're careful, you should be fine. And now continue until you reach the end of row 14. Now we are starting row 15, and in row 13 we had 13 knit stitches between the yarn over on each side. So now in this incoming row we will have 15 stitches, but the 8th stitch we will do as our tier, so I'll show you how to do that. So thread behind the needle, first stitch goes knitwise, and you see here how the edge is nice. If it's too loose, you can just pull a bit after the first stitch, and you can that way kind of regulate the tightness. So after you do that, continue with yarn over the needle and then the knit stitches, so just like before. Now I'm in the middle of my scarf, so the next stitch I'm doing a bit deeper. So this is the top loop. So we count the next 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will take one after another on the needle, the top one not. And take the 8th stitch on the needle and do it knitwise. Left needle through the 4 loops and pull them over the 8th stitch, and that's how you get the tier. Now I have 7 more knit stitches. Yarn over and the last 2 knit stitches. The next even row we will do as usual, so even the tier won't be a problem. Just do it in knit stitch as you would any other stitch. And now do 10 rows in regular plain pattern with knit stitches and the 2 additions so that your scarf can keep growing. So 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th row, you can relax and just do knit stitches with the 2 additions, and I'll do that too, and then I'll get back to you to show you how to proceed. So here I am, row 27 is what we are doing now. So the pattern will start the same way as before. So as reference, we are taking this row with the tier. So I'll do again the edge stitch. Knit stitch, yarn over, and then 7 knit stitches, just like we did the first time. Seven, and now here the 8th stitch. This one we leave out. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 4 you take on the needle, do the 8th stitch in knit stitch, and pull the 4 loops over the needle. Now here, left from this mid stitch, I'll do another tier, but I'd like to show you before we do that, in case you have forgotten to count the rows you had in between, you can always take a look if you need to do one more base row or not, so it's actually really easy to figure that out. So this here was the last pattern row. Now above this tier you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops. So that's when it's time for the next tier row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the pattern repeats every 12 rows, so 5 front and 5 back rows, plus the 2 rows in the pattern. So until we get to the next tier, we do 11 stitches. The 6th is the one that would go over the first tier we did. And now we continue, so the deeper one. So skip counting the first loop and then again count 4 loops down. And now do the 12th stitch and pull the loops over it. Now we have again 7 knit stitches. Till the yarn over the needle and the last 2 knit stitches. Row 28 is the back row. So just do all the stitches in knit stitch. and then you do 10 more rows till we reach the next tier row. So when we reach the next time, when we reach the tier row, we will have 3 tiers, and in between them, as always, are gonna be 11 stitches, and on the ends, so in between each tier is 11, and on each end till the yarn over the needle are the 7 stitches. Now just continue with knit stitch and do the 2 additions at the beginning and end, as always. Here you can see that I did a couple of rows already. So here I have finished 1 pattern row, and here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to the yarn over. So that's always like that. And between the tiers, it's always going to be 11 stitches. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section. You can also subscribe to my channel and stay updated with everything new that I post, as well as gain access to the videos I already posted. So I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, I wish you a wonderful day. Bye!